Hello, welcome to episode 134 in the Pack tutorial series for version 1.2.1.4. Although we're doing a resource pack again, because we're doing a fade transition. I've always wanted one of these. I'm not sure where I'm going to use it, but let's have a quick look at what it is. So we're going to use the title, and we're going to do a full screen fade, like that. That is basically what we're doing. Now, because it's a title, we can obviously change the times. So we've got here 10 ticks, 20 ticks, 10 ticks. That's how long it takes to fade in, how long it takes to fade, how long it stays for, how long it takes to fade out. And you can put a T for tick, S for seconds, or D for in-game days. So if we set 100 on the fade in, we're going to get a 5. Whoop. So we've got a lot of control over it, which is pretty cool. Now it'll stay for a second and fade out quickly. Okay, that's what we're going to be doing. Let's get on and build it now. Okay, let's do a little start with what we're actually doing. You can skip ahead using timestamps if you want. We are obviously just running a title, so let's set that up. A title for all players. Let's set up the times. I have a fade in of 10 ticks. We'll stay for 20 ticks and a fade out of 10 ticks. Now you go to choice A. You can put a T, an S or a D after the numbers. It would be ticks, seconds or in-game days. Okay, so that's that done. Let's pop the button on there. Let's put a sign on the front. And now let's make a title command. Impulse chain always active. There we go. Right, so let's do title for all players, a title. And let's just do something simple. And we'll have some text. And we'll just say A. Okay, well, we know what this is going to do. There we go. We've got an A on the screen. But Minecraft has alternate fonts built in. For instance, the font in the crafting table. The enchanting table is an alternate font. In fact, it's even called Alt. So let's specify that. Let's do font Alt. Now it's going to use the Alt font. Cool. Okay. Well, we don't have to use one of Minecraft's fonts. We can make our own. So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to use a character from the Unicode, which is in the private use area. This is what people seem to use when I was looking through researching how to do this, so we're going to use it as well. It is a little slash, a small u, an E, 01, big F. Okay, it's happy with that. Now, Minecraft doesn't have an associated character for this Unicode, so it's probably just going to, it's just going to show me a square. I don't know what that is. I'll just show a square, and it'll do that for anything it doesn't recognize. Okay. Right, well, let's not use the Minecraft font. So if we don't specify a namespace, it is effectively defaulting to that. Let's specify our own namespace. So let's say, okay, well, I want you to use fade. That's going to be my namespace. And I want you to pick from my font file, fade black, we'll call our font file. Okay, done. Now, nothing, it's going off to find it, and it's going, well, you don't even have that, so I don't know what you want me to look for. Let's keep that open, shrink this down. Actually, let's open the resource pack folder, options, resource packs, open pack folder. This is going to open your resource pack folder. I've already got mine open. Let's just press done, back to game, and let's keep that open so we can see what's written in this command block. Okay, so first we're going to need a name for our pack, so let's get a folder. New folder, give it a name, just paste it in to save time. Episode 134, RP, resource pack, fade to black transition. Cool. Let's go in there. Right, let's put our pack.png in. This is a 128 by 128 pixel ping file. I have one. I'm just going to copy it in straight away. We get a little preview. It's just my face. I'm going to use it for every tutorial. Okay, now we'll need our pack.mcmeta. Actually, let's go off this screen for the moment and actually go into the resource pack screen. So far, we can see nothing recognized. Pack mcmeta we need. So we'll add a text document and we'll rename it pack.mcmeta. But I don't want that .text on the end. I want it to be a text file. Yes, please. Okay. Now, obviously made a mistake. I put meta. Well, that's not going to work. MC meta, please. Yes. For me, it was easy to spot that mistake because I have it associated with Sublime Text and the icon didn't change. It's like, there must be something wrong. Right, let's open up that. And to save a bit of time, I'm just going to paste it in because we've done these a couple of times and we've done them in the data packs as well. So that's the format. Open your brackets. We need a pack. Okay, we need a pack format, 46. That is for Minecraft version 1.21.4. And we need a description, and there's my description. Cool. Now let's save that. And as soon as I save that, Minecraft now knows that this folder contains a resource pack, and it's found my little picture and used that. Cool. So that's all it does at the moment. Doesn't do anything else. Let's make it do something else. When you make a data pack folder, you would have a data folder here. Well, we're doing a resource pack, so we have assets. Inside our assets, we'll need a namespace. We're not doing anything to Minecraft. We're adding something new. We're not changing anything in Minecraft. So let's fade. Now, let's go back to that command that we had. There's fade. There's the namespace there. Fade. That is this folder. So look in this folder, fade. Cool. Okay, let's go in there. Inside there, we're going to need a font folder. And that's going to have a file which is going to sort of describe the font. But we're also going to need a textures folder. Textures, let's make sure we spell it right. And it is textures with an S, yeah. And inside textures, we'll have a texture for a font. And that's going to hold our font texture. We're just doing a very simple texture. If you wanted to add a whole new alphabet, I haven't done that yet, so it might be slightly different to the way we're doing this. Let's go back to fade. Right, in font. So now we're looking in fade black. So it's going into fade. It knows it's a font, so it's going into font automatically, and we need a fade black.json. So let's make a new text document. And let's call that fade black.json. Yes, please. Okay, let's open that. Now, I don't know what some of these things are. I am new to this as well, but I know if you copy this, it will work. But we'll have a guess at what we're doing. So we need providers. And, well, we know if we open a square bracket, it's going to be a list. So we're having a list of providers. And in there, let's define our first provider. We're going to have a file. And the file is going to be called, well, it's going to be in my namespace. We called that fade. And it's going to be in the font directory, and we called it. This is the file it's pointing to. So we're going to be pointing to black.png. Oh, why is that so unhappy? Because I haven't got any speech marks around it. There we go. Let's make you happy. There we go. So it's going to say, I want to use the font fade black. It's going to come into this file and go, okay, well, what's the texture file? Well, it's in fade font black.png. So we're going to have to create that. I'm only using a specific character. There might be other ways to do this. Remember, I am new to this as well. So if you've got helpful advice, please do put it in the comments to help other people, and me, really. And here we're going to add our character we're looking for. And we're looking for our \ubiggie01f. Okay, so that character is what we want to find. And we're going to give it a height. Now, assuming this is stretching the height of the character, so we're stretching it, and we're just going to have a tiny little file, and we're going to stretch it to really big, so it covers the whole screen. Then we have something called ascent. Now, this might be some sort of offset, 512. If we're stretching it to 1024, we've got an ascent of 512. Maybe this is a way of centering it. We want a type. What type of file is this? Type. Well, it's not a true type font or a TTF file. It is. We're going to have a ping, so we'll call it a bitmap. Let's save that. Now, we're going to leave those open. Let's put them down here, just in case we get any problems. We probably will. Okay. So now we need to go into fade font black.png. So that's our texture. It knows to look in textures, so we don't have to specify texture in here. So fade, textures, font. Now I've already made mine. I'm going to just drop it in here. What? Can I actually see it? No, let's open it. Let's open it with, where on earth is open with? Let's open it with that. But are you not going to open? Have you opened? Oh, there you are. Looks like we've got two open. Discard changes for that one. Is that the one we've got? I'll tell you what, I'm going to close that one and I'm going to open it again just to make sure we're editing the right one. You could be editing the wrong one and no changes are being made. You think you're making mistakes. Easy to do. Well, I've opened it. Can you see it? To me, it just looks like a bit of dust on the screen. It is here. It is 1 pixel by 1 pixel of black. That is it. For this use, we don't need to make this any bigger. So why have a big file? Let's just make it tiny so it takes up less space. And I think what we're doing here is this height bit we've got is stretching that and making it big and fat so it covers the whole screen. Okay, so we've dropped it in. Well, it looks like everything's working. We're now saying use font fade black. Fade black is saying, okay, we'll use the file font black.png and do some stretching or something. I'm guessing. But let's see if it works. If it works, I'm happy. But we can always come back and visit this later if it doesn't, if there's better ways to do things. So let's cancel that. Let's reload our texture packs. In fact, I don't think we've even added it yet, have we? So let's add our texture pack. Let's say done. And now let's see. Oh, yes. Okay, cool. We got it to work. So use our font. Comes in here, finds our font. It goes, oh, I use black.png. It goes into the textures font, finds black.png, and it's using that. Okay, that's good. Now, you don't have to have black. You can have whatever you like. We're only using 1 pixel, but we could just, let's get a fill bucket here, and maybe you wanted it red. Okay, let's just fill that with red, and we'll just overwrite. We will have to reload the texture pack, F3 and T. Now we've got a red. Cool. Okay, and we can have slower fade in. If we change stay for 0 and fade out. Fade in and fade out long, just stay for 0. What does that look like? Ooh. Uh-oh. Oh, I thought it was stuck then and it wasn't going to come back. Maybe you want something like that. Maybe you want a title that stays on the screen. You can turn it off whenever you like with clear, but it is a bang, straight off. It's a hard cut. Okay. We now have a sort of a fade to black transition where we can easily control how long it takes to fade in, how long it stays for, and how long it takes to fade out. Cool. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.